So this title comes off a little more confrontational than is usually my taste, but I literally keep getting the question, how do you get so much more done than me? And so this is it. This is how I get more done than you. I'm going to go through 7 time management tips for entrepreneurs, and these are the things that I see that I tend to do differently than other people. And I started doing them because I was once in that same situation, and these were the things that I saw helped me to break through those bottlenecks and stop spinning my wheels. So drop me a comment below with wheels or hit that like button if that's currently where you are, and let's jump in. Welcome back, boss ladies. Hello to the gents, and for anybody who is brand new here, my name is Tara Wagner of exotara.us, a belief breakthrough coach with nearly a decade experience helping women to overcome their limiting beliefs. If you're a female entrepreneur who prefers to crush her goals, not her soul, be sure to hit subscribe for weekly videos to help you overcome your own limiting beliefs and the bad habits holding you back from that next level of success. At one point, about 8 years ago or so, we were running 4 businesses. We were homeschooling our tween son at the time, and we were traveling full-time, which was pretty much a full-time job on its own. All of this while living with a chronic illness and a disability, which took a lot of time and wiped out a lot of energy. Right now, I am running 2 businesses, spending about 5 hours a day just on managing my health. We run a large team as well as manage employees. We're supporting clients and customers, and we're moving across country, which is pretty much a full-time job in and of itself. Before I even get into these 7 tips though, I want to give you a little bonus tip, maybe you could call it. I am highly connected to what I call my why. I'm very passionate about what I do and what I want to be doing, where I want my life to go. This has made me highly motivated to solve the problems around time management, because I realized that if I didn't, I was going to be spending a lot of time on things that were never going to move me forward. I have a very clear vision. I have a very strong desire to create very specific things. And so that drive is really, I think, a key part to everything that I'm going to be sharing with you. And it's definitely what led me to figure out these 7 tips that I'm going to be explaining. If you don't have the passion and the motivation and the drive to really want to do what you say you want to do, it's easy to blame not having enough time. And that's said with lots of love. I used to be in the same situation where I never felt like I had enough time and I blamed time. But the more connected I got to my why, the more I realized that was just wasting more time. And if I was really serious about what I wanted to do, I would solve the problems and not complain about the problems. So if you also needed to hear that message, that was for you. And if you just need some straight up logistics and strategies, let's get onto those now. My first time management tip for entrepreneurs is to ruthlessly eliminate distractions. Our time is constantly being stolen away from us by other people's priorities. And, rock on to them for having that kind of power, but rock on to us when we take it back. There are so many pulls on our energy these days. And if you are not ruthlessly eliminating any sort of distraction, you're going to constantly be pulled in every different direction. So I can't tell you what your distractions are. You really have to just start paying attention to what is distracting you and start solving those problems for yourself. I can tell you one of my distractions was social media, was definitely notifications on my phone, was people just, interrupting in the middle of the day because they know that I work at home and they somehow think that that means I have so much freedom to do anything I want to do at 11 o'clock in the morning, which is the goal, but I'm not there yet. And slowly I just started to chip away at these things. I have a whole video on breaking up with my smartphone. I have a whole video on social media rules that I follow. You can check those things out, but ultimately it comes down to what's causing your distractions and what are you willing to do to eliminate those distractions. Brainstorm those problems, be ruthless with your time and your energy and your focus, because if you're not, no one else is going to protect it for you. Number 2 is batching like a boss. And I've done a few videos on batching as well, but let me just tell you, I don't just batch, I micro batch. Like I batch within batches within batches. It's like the inception of batching happening in my head. Now, I didn't get here overnight, but ultimately I'm always looking for ways to group like things together, because I know that most of my time was being dwindled away through transitions, right? Like the 20 minutes it takes to get into something. And then if you get distracted, the 20 minutes it takes to get back into something. So if I was going from one type of work to another type of work back to the first one, I was losing a lot of time in between, just in transition time. So maybe a better way of saying it would be like streamlining what I'm doing. And streamlining probably is a better way of saying this, because I do this in every area of my life. If I need to hit a minute 30 seconds on the microwave, I'm actually going to hit 90 because it's one less of a button to push. And I know it sounds a little crazy. Again, I didn't get here overnight, but this is just how I've trained my brain to look at things. The more I can streamline, the more I can batch things together, anything that I can do to save a little bit of extra time, it forces my brain to get really organized and to just look at things in a different way so that I flow through my day a lot easier. Number 3 is time blocking like a boss. And if you have no idea what time blocking is, or you need some strategies to do it a little bit better, I also have videos for you. And if you find that you are time blocking, but you have a hard time sticking with it, I have an upcoming video that I think you're really gonna enjoy, because it solves the question that I get a lot, which is that question: how do I stick with time blocking? I always fall off after a couple weeks or a couple months. And there's a really specific thing that you need to be doing to make sure that that doesn't happen. And I'm going to be going through that in that video. But ultimately, if I were not time blocking, I would be a hot mess. I time block everything, personal and professional. I even time block open space where nothing gets time blocked. That's actually like a time block of its own, just because like my brain now just functions in that type of routine. Again, it's really a lot of training your brain to work more efficiently. Number 4 is templates galore. And I had no idea that rhymed until I just said it. I use templates for everything. Anything that I potentially will need to do more than one time gets turned into a template. So an example of this might be a canned response in an email. If I know that I get certain emails on a pretty regular basis, I'm going to turn that into a canned response so that I just click a couple things in Gmail and it populates my response. Maybe I tweak a few things and personalize it, but it's going to save me a ton of time. We think that email only takes like a couple minutes to respond to, but when you time it, it's like 15 or 20 minutes to write a good email and like read through it and then send it. So canned responses are definitely a big one for me. Graphics are another huge one. I paid somebody to create me any sort of graphic that I might need, whether it's for Instagram, for Facebook, for YouTube, for my thumbnails. Anything whatsoever starts off as a template that we can then duplicate and tweak based on how we're using it. That one is huge. I never want to recreate those ones from scratch. It takes so much time. Another example would be something like website copy. So for instance, I have an A to Z of oils on my website. We created the template for those pages first, and then we went in and filled in the blanks. That moved that process along so much faster. It was easy. There's like 111 oils that I have on that page. In a Google Doc, we created a template. It was actually broken down into a table, and it had the name, the title, the this, the that, everything written out. And then all we had to do was take that table and copy it 111 times, and then just start chipping away and filling in those tables, and then taking that content and filling it into the website. My videos like these all run off of a template. My entire workflow goes off of a template. My video scripting is all based around a template so that I'm coming in and I already know what needs to be created. And it's again, just filling in the blanks. It takes a lot out of my brain so that I'm not trying to recreate the wheel every time. I have templates for hashtags, for social media content calendars, for task management, you name it. If I can templify it, I'm gonna do it. Number 5 is outsourcing. And I realize that this is very difficult for a lot of business owners. You get to a point in your business where you really need to start bringing in help, but you're not quite making enough money to do so. But if you brought in help, you could start making money to do so. So basically my advice is just as soon as you can afford anything, even if it's $50 a month, start putting that into outsourcing, maybe outsourcing something like templates so that it's going to save you a little bit more time. You can start using that time towards income producing activities, and then you can reinvest what you're receiving back into more support. There's a place in your business for doing it all. There's a place in your business for investing it back into help to help you to do more of the right things. So we outsource a lot. I have a VA who is amazing and she's working miracles. We have a video editor now who is amazing and working miracles. And anytime we can ask for support or help or get somebody else who is more skilled than us, can do something better than us, can do it faster than us, we're gonna try to find those people because I want to work within my zone of genius. My husband wants to work within his zone of genius, which is not my business all the time. So when we're trying to fill in gaps just to save a buck, a lot of times it ends up costing us more money because it's taking us away from actual income producing activities and into just the day-to-day processes in our business. So again, as soon as you can start to budget anything, even if you can only save up 20 bucks at a time to outsource one thing a couple months from now, do it because you really have to get to the point. You get to the point of letting go of doing all the things again so that you can focus on the right things. Number 6 is constantly reassessing ROI, return on investment. This could be an investment of time. It could be an investment of energy. It can be something that we are investing maybe in terms of advertising or a strategy that we're using. I am always tracking and analyzing the data, the analytics, anything that I can to make sure that what I'm doing is bringing the best return possible and working at improving the things that I'm doing to increase that return. And ultimately what I'm doing is either eliminating what is not working or realigning myself to what is, simply because it's easy to get off track. So when I can spend a little bit of time to analyze those things and see, hey, my time wasn't really measuring up to how I wanted to spend it last week. What can I do to get myself back on track next week? Those types of things are really important. I have a video coming up on doing those types of things, especially in regards to time. The video is actually around time blocking. It's the one I mentioned earlier. If you're interested in how I do that, how I analyze my time to make sure I'm staying on track, be sure to subscribe if you're not already, or look for the video on time blocking or calendar blocking so that you're able to understand how I'm doing that and maybe utilize that for yourself. It is a process. It doesn't happen overnight. It's taken me a long time to get to that process, but it's those slow course corrections that's really allowed me to stay on track. And then number 7 might be one of the most important ones, and it is managing myself. This means managing my expectations, managing my thoughts and my emotions, and managing my energy. And there's 2 ways that I do this. One of them is through self-care, and one of them is through mindset work. If either of these 2 things are things that you struggle with, I have a freebie for you in both of them. One of them is called Self-Care in Seconds. It's how you can shift your mindset around self-care, also shift your self-care practices so that you can fill your cup in as little as 30 seconds. The other one is Bottlenecks to Breakthroughs. It will show you the things that you need to be focusing on in order to up-level your mindset, start shifting your thoughts and emotions, and ultimately both of them allowing you to have the energy and the focus and just be in the right frame of mind to really rock your business. You can see the links to both of those down below. I don't recommend grabbing both of them because let's face it, if we do too much at once, we do nothing at all. Pick the one that you feel like you need the most and spend some time with it. Let me know your feedback on it. You can always come back for the other one, and I'm here to answer any questions that you have on it as well. Then leave a comment below with your best time management tips for entrepreneurs, and let's get some ideas going as a community. And if you're new here, be sure to subscribe for weekly videos to help you crush your goals, not your soul. Give this video a thumbs up and share it with other women who would prefer to do the same thing. Then check out these next videos for more time management tips, and fist bump for making it to the end of this video, you crazy person with an amazing attention span. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.